That's right. The beloved classic, A Walk to Remember, is getting rebooted. They're going to remake it. And I think I already hate it. Hey guys, welcome to Real Movie Lovers, a video podcast about real filmmakers having real conversations about real life. Topics include movies, TV, current events, tech news, and more. I'm your host, Lisa, filling in for me and my co-host, who is currently on hiatus, and we are going to be diving into some interesting stories today. So be sure to tune in, which technically you already are tuned in, so let's get started then. First up, I checked out a couple more episodes of season 2 of Arcane. Me and my daughter are slowly getting through it. Not because we're not interested or enjoy it. It's a timing issue. But man, this show, the artwork is exquisite. It's beautiful. But the story is gut-wrenching. You watch as these two sisters who had such a love. I guess they were orphans because of a war between, the elite and the not elite class. And this war tore separated everyone into two factions, basically, and left these two sisters orphaned. And they have this close bond, but one day something happens and it caused them to be separated and for years. Like, one is over here and one is over there, like separate for years. They don't see each other again until in their adult years. And there has been some changes to both of them. Like they're not who they were when they were younger. And that animosity towards each other and them having different ideals of how to move forward. Clash. But along the way, you're just, the heartbreak, the lives lost. Every time there seems to be some progress, it's reverted back. It's based on a video game. And when I tell you the artwork is beautiful, they spent years on this and it shows. It really shows. But not only is the artwork beautiful, but again, the story is amazing and the characters are interesting and no one is one note. Everyone is layered. No one is all good or all evil, as we find out. And characters' motives for the choices that they make, or even if you don't agree with them, for some of it, you understand. You can see how they got there. And this past couple episodes that we watched, there's this one character that got introduced in the beginning of season 2, and you're just like following them along. You're loving the budding relationship happening, and then they gut punch you because it looks like this character sacrificed themselves to save others. And I know that it's been out. I know that most of you probably have already seen it, and that I shouldn't worry about spoilers, but I'm still going to keep it close to the chest. Man, I have no idea how this show is going to end. Don't spoil it for me right now. And I think I'm 3 episodes away from us finishing season 2, because I think it only has two seasons. To my knowledge, there's not any plans for a third one. I think they concluded it. But it cost so much money that they lost money that even if they wanted to do another season, they probably won't anyway. Which is a shame. It's such a shame because it definitely deserved more. So I'm trying to figure out what direction they're taking this in. How are they going to end this? What is the ultimate pinnacle? Because you got these characters who are stuck over here. People have switched sides and alliances. People's views have changed. One character who had a black and white view of the world, as often with life, is tested, and they realize that there are also shades of gray. I'm sorry I'm not giving you guys a lot to go off of, but it's a really good show. Worth the watch. So we'll see how it ends. You know what? Don't tell me how it ends, but tell me if you guys were happy with the ending. Tell me that. The other thing I checked out was I finished Mr. Beast games. I'm only like 2 weeks behind. And I'm not entirely like, I'm not as if I was really invested, like I had any kind of horse in this race, but I wanted this specific character, Tawana, to win. She was like a beast the whole time. And she was, at least on screen, honest and forthcoming, and, seemed like a good person, good team player, person to rely on. But the person who did win, because of the cause that they want to push it for and what they intend to do with their money, it was cool. It was cool. So, for those of you living under a rock, Mr. Beast games, Mr. Beast is some kind of, I think he's the top YouTuber ever, I think. And he's always doing these challenges and these games and giving out money. So they decided to make it on a big grand scale. So Amazon threw money at him and was like, make a whole Beast Games thing, which he did. And what's funny is I watched a recent pitch meeting video on Beast Games. And what they pointed out, Ryan pointed out, that there wasn't a lot of games in Mr. Beast Games. There was a lot of like messing with people's heads and trying to convince people to quit. So there were games, but like not as many games as you would expect something called Beast Games. And the final game was a bit of a letdown, I will say. It was just them trying to pick a suitcase with the check in it. But the way it was just a little round table. There was nothing else to it. So anyway, that dude won $10 million. He has a son with a very rare condition, genetic condition. There's no cure, so he wants to help make a cure happen, and $10 million will help that in the long run. So yeah, Tawana, she was a wrestler. I looked her up because I was like, let me look up this person, Tawana Barnett. See, yeah, she's a wrestler, an actress. She built like she was like worked out, like she was something. And you know what? Just seeing some of this stuff, her mannerisms make sense. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like the way she carried herself, I'm like, oh, okay, I could see, wrestler. I see it. The training and all that stuff. So I wonder if she's got a couple of things coming up. She's in a TV series. She may have lost Mr. Beast Games. It was between her and the other guy. But my girl, her career trajectory is looking good. Are there any more actors who were on Mr. Beast Games? Let's take a look. Okay, Jeffrey Randall. That's the winner of Beast Games. Nope. This dude is what he says he is. He's a father. He's not an actor. And let me see. Michael. I'm curious about Michael. Robert House. He is. Wait a second. Hold up. This is one of the people who was in the top 10. This guy, he had cool neck tattoos and stuff. Okay. Is he an actor? He's an actor. But he's only done things, I guess, in the last few years. But he's in Mickey's Sleigh House as Psycho Bob. It's a movie, 2025, coming up. Mickey's Sleigh House. Teens trespass deserted Mickey's Playhouse amusement park, confronting dark history and personal fears as thrill seekers turn harrowing and linger. Okay. All right. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Okay. He did walk away with some money too. Wow. All right. Enough. Anywho, that is what I checked out. What I want to check out is Companion. I've heard good things about the movie. I want to see it really badly. I think it's involving an AI companion of some sort. I know there was the Megan Fox version, which Subservient, I think it's called. I'd rather see Companion. I'll get around to seeing Subservient one of these days. But that's what I checked out. You guys let me know. What have you watched lately? Drop it in the chatty chat or the comment section and let me know. All right, on to our first news of the day. David Arquette returning as Deputy Dewey Riley in Scream 7. That sounds great. Here's the issue though. He died in Scream 5. Like, he was legit murdered efficiently. Not like, oh, I wonder what happened. No body lost at sea. Like, we saw you get stabbed by a killer who overpowered you. And when we reveal later who the killer was in that scene, doesn't make sense, but it's okay. It's okay. We're not here to go over logistics. I'm still a little salty about your death and how you died and who killed you, but it's fine. It's fine. So the thing is, he's not the only dead not dead. He's not the only formerly dead character returning. You guys may know that Matthew Lillard. Yeah, Matthew Lillard. Lillard. Oh my gosh. I ain't take an English class or something. Matthew Lillard is returning. He died in Scream 1. Right? Wasn't he, yeah. Like, no. Was he Stu? Was his character's name Stu? Yeah. Stu. Yeah, his character died. But he's coming back? Okay. Now, his character died in the first one. So his character coming back, that could be, that I could kind of see. But, as far as him playing a completely different role and just being a cool nod to, oh my gosh, that's Stu. Whereas David Arquette, he's been in these movies and he's been a pinnacle figure in all 5 movies. And then you kill him and then 2 movies later he's back? That doesn't make sense. Oh my gosh. Her brother from Scream 3, the one that kicked everything off, is coming back? How are we resurrecting all these dead people? Are they coming back as like visions? Because they was doing that a little bit with Billy in Scream 5 and 6. Where she was seeing, Melissa something. She was seeing Billy, her biological father. Because she had to fight these like serial killer tendencies or something. All right. Yeah. Arquette, who played Deputy Dewey, was offed in the 5th film by Amber Freeman. Yeah. And you know what? Let's talk about his ending. Let's talk about that. Because not his death. Because already his death was annoying. Because this character deserved more than what he got. If you're going to kill him, okay, kill him. But make it count when he goes out. All right. I got to get off this topic. I'm not letting it go. So the thing that bothered me was that him and Gail, like, they have had this on again, off again relationship through the entire series. They got together in 1, they broke up in 2, they got back together in 3, they broke up, and then 4, they're together in 4, and then now they're calling it quits in 5, and he dies. And not only did he die, but like, you made him a really sad man before he died. He was living like in a trailer. You know what? I'm going off memory here, so I could be wrong. But I could have sworn that, okay, he was definitely not with anybody. They were divorced. He was living in a trailer. He was in Woodsboro, just going through the motions, just phoning it in. He had just come to a sad point in his life. And I was like, you know what? You could have had him go out a little bit better than that. Would it have killed you to have had him have a teensy bit better of an end than that? Dewey deserved more than that. Oh, Joel McHale is in here? He's from Community, right? I already am trying to figure out what they're doing with the 7th installment, because they started to go into a new direction with New Blood in Scream 5 and 6. And then, of course, there was some stuff going on at the time, and, Melissa had posted something and it caused her to lose her job. But now those 2 are not coming back. So you don't have Jenna Ortega. You don't have Melissa Bartlett. I'm saying her name wrong. You don't have these 2 people who were headlining the new generation of Scream. And now we're bringing back Neve Campbell, which shouldn't have left. And I don't mean like she shouldn't have left. I mean, you guys should have paid her to keep her in Scream 6. She definitely deserved to be there. But the issue is that you're bringing back all of these legacy characters, trying to mix them with some of the, because we still have some of the new characters from the new direction. Like this feels so muddled. I'm trying to figure out what you're gonna do. Like, how are you gonna explain away Jenna Ortega's character and Melissa's character? Like, how do you explain them not being here anymore? What's gonna be the reason? Scream 6 was released theatrically worldwide in March 2023 and holds the franchise record for highest domestic box office gross with more than $108 million and has taken in more than $169 million worldwide. Collectively, the Scream franchise has earned more than $900 million in worldwide box office receipts. That's why you're getting Scream 7 and 8 and 9 and probably 10. They're just going to keep going until they run this into the ground. I mean, when you have Ghostface, the mask, you can do that. You can definitely do that. You can do that. Friday the 13th, you can do that because Jason mask. So you can have like 20 or 30 of them. Now they haven't because of legal issues, I think, and ownership issues, some kind of copyright issues, like who owns what, whatever. That's why you haven't seen Friday the 13th, because by now we should be on number 30, movie number 30. And then the issue with A Nightmare on Elm Street is that it's Freddy, Robert Englund, and he is Freddy. They tried to reboot it horribly. Those are big shoes to fill. Like, anybody can be under the Scream mask. Anybody can be under Jason's mask. But you need Robert himself to be Freddy. He just had a whole style to him. Freddy just has his own thing. You know what I mean? Who else? What other, like, horror icons could you not really replace? Okay, they rebooted Child's Play Chucky. Hate the new look. Hate the new version. Hate it. Oh, I hated it. Oh, they made it like AI, and I hate it. I hate it. Go back to what it was. A man whose soul is in a doll. What are you guys thinking about this? Where are my Scream fans at? I myself am also a Scream fan. Like, I obviously, we all agree one is the best, obviously. People love 2, the next. They think 2 is the next great one. I like 4 more than 2. I think I like 3 more than 2 as well. I feel like 2, I've only ever watched it like once. Maybe because they killed Randy in it. You know what I mean? They killed one of the core group for me, and I'm like, Maybe it's the motives. Maybe it was who it was that I was like, I don't know. 2 just doesn't strike me the way the other ones are. Maybe her boyfriend, the actor who played it, like, they wrote him kind of lame. I can't remember all the reasons why I'm like, 2 is so-so. But 3 and 4, definitely love those. 5 is good. Fun. 6, it starts to be a bit like, okay, let's kind of chill out a little bit. All right. And now 7 is looking like a Frankenstein project to me right now. I mean, I could end up loving it, and you can't go wrong with Neve Campbell, but I guess we will see how things pan out. Let me know what you guys think about this whole story. Are you excited? Are you on board? Let me know. So our next story, even though it's movie news, in a way combines tech news. Divergent producer launches AI company that aims to make studio quality movies for $500,000. $500,000. Let's get into this. The producer of the Divergent series, I think the name is Poyo Shabazian, is opening up a studio, an AI-driven studio that's going to produce AI-driven content. And not only are they producing it, but they want to produce like 30 films in the next 3 to 4 years. That's a tall order. It's a lot. So even though they have the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strikes to prevent AI from affecting, actors and writers in the industry, AI has effectively entered the chat and is here to stay, it would seem. So you got filmmakers who have turned to AI for its efficiency. It's a tool. On the upside, graphic design artists learn to use Photoshop. They thought Photoshop would replace them, but it hasn't really replaced them. It has allowed for them to be, they've learned to work with it. And more productions are pretty much using it. This is kind of like how CGI started off, where, you know, it may have been looked down upon, but it's gained traction over time, and now it's kind of normal. Well, to give you an idea of how AI is being used right now in movies right now, The Brutalist, which stars Adrian Brody and Felicia Jones, they use AI technology to help perfect the Hungarian accent that Adrian was using in the movie. Amelia Perez, it was nominated for like 13 Academy Awards. It used AI to increase the vocal range of lead actor Carla Sofia Gascon. And then the writer who won an Oscar for Taxi Driver, he was getting some heat because he said, why should writers sit around for months searching for good ideas when AI can provide it in seconds? Let's rely more on technology and use our brain less. When you don't exercise something, you lose it, right? Like if you start going to the gym and then you stop, the gains that you were gaining go away. I mean, even when patients who lose the ability to walk over time, your legs atrophy, right? Or something. So here's the thing. This producer, they've already started working on an AI generated film. The first one is The Woman with Red Hair. It's featuring the work of a variety of screenwriters, directors, actors, and animators. The character designs are from a former Pixar executive, and the artwork is from the guy who worked on Kung Fu Panda. Now, this movie, The Woman with Red Hair, is a drama about a true life war resistor in World War II Holland, as voiced by a real person. And you've got other actors in there. I'm not sure how to feel about this, but they did release a teaser. So, you know what? Let's look at the teaser real quick. I'm not sure if it'll let me play the whole thing without copyright striking me, which would be interesting. Staircase Studios AI. Oh, wow. This is like new. Here we go. Let's see how it looks. Interesting. There's like this gloss, this sheen. I mean, you already have actors who like go under the knife to look a certain way and or who are casted because they have a certain look to them. And now we're going to be putting less like real people in stuff. If this was like animated, it'd be a little different. But this is like, that's just, I mean, it looks better than, AI did a few years ago when I started doing this. But, it's only going to get better. Alrighty. I've watched enough. So this producer says that he has dedicated himself to pairing ethical AI usage with the industry's most underutilized assets, overlooked stories waiting to be produced from fantastic writers and directors. So the plus side is that, if you look at it as the Hollywood machine, they dictate what movies, what stories are being told. And it's not like they're not getting original stuff. It's not like they're not getting new stuff. They're just rejecting the new stuff or rejecting the original stuff because they're sticking to what they know. They're sticking to what they think will make us the most money and what will appeal to the largest audiences. So there are tons and tons and tons of stories that aren't getting told, that aren't getting put on the big screen or even the small screen. And what this allows for is creatives, independents, smaller studios to get their work produced themselves and put it out there. And you saw that they still had a team. It wasn't like it was one guy who typed in a prompt and then a whole movie appeared. They still had animators, they still had writers, they still had actors and actresses. They still have people being used in the medium. People's talents being used. So again, it's not one person who types in something and they've replaced like 2,000 jobs. A lot of jobs have been replaced, don't get me wrong. And I do think that these bloated budgets for these movies are unnecessary. The cost of some of these movies is like atrocious. Now, part of that is poor planning, like how some of these Marvel, I'm going to just pick on Marvel, but just because of the top of my head, some of these Marvel movies, they are changing things as they're in development or as they're filming, which means reshoots, which means delays, which means longer time on set. So yeah, you're racking up the bill. Now, for the sake of allowing creators and writers who Hollywood would never blink twice at, having the opportunity to get their work, their stories, their voices heard and seen, for that I'm happy about. The concern, one of the concerns I have, isn't just, loss of jobs, but loss of human connection. Because here's the thing, AI is only going to get better. What we're seeing now, like the little uncanny little jerks here and there, they're already getting smoothed out with each passing day. I believe that there is still a connection with the audience, with the actor, with the character. There's something to relate there. And it just feels like if this is this porcelain created character with no real flaws, outside, this world has no real flaws. I don't know. It is too perfect. It is too curated. It's too curated. And now that could be just a gripe that I personally have. And you guys could be perfectly fine with it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to knock anybody who uses it. I get it. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't use it or play around with it myself. I don't want to see us rely all on it. Because typing into GPT, like you have an idea and you're like, oh man, are you looking for an idea? And hey, what about this? And it gives you a prompt. I think prompts are cool. Prompts are an excellent way to get your brain working, to get your mind going. So even though I was before, prompts, they're good. Trying to rely heavily on AI to do everything is where I'm like, so what part do we play? How are we involved? I mean, it's here to stay. You can't there's no going back. Pandora's box has been opened. So Staircase Studios, AI. You're going to probably see a lot of studios popping up, Maybach Studios, AI. Shadow Studios, AI. It's going to happen. It's probably already happening. Because they are also already working on more work. Here's what the producer had to say. After packaging and selling 150 projects into the studio system over the past 15 years, I've borne witness to far too much inefficiency to continue the status quo. So he's tired of the bureaucracy of Hollywood, of studios. I mean, and not to mention all the sad stories of studios literally stealing writers' work. There are countless stories of writers, believe it or not, who pitch to studios, who send their work over. And they're like, no, thank you. We don't need it. And then down the line, they literally produce a movie that's similar to what was pitched. That was the case with Coming to America, which I didn't know that. Coming to America, a journalist pitched it to the studio about a foreign prince coming to America to look for a wife. I'm not sure all the pitch details, but he pitched it. They were like, nah, we're good. And then Coming to America, starring Eddie Murphy, comes out. And he's like, well, hold on. Hold, sir. What's going on? You guys told me this wasn't viable, but then you went and made the movie that I pitched. He was able to sue. He had enough materials and evidence that he won. But when they try to convince you, no one's going to steal your work. People do. They do. I currently haven't had it happen to me. I also haven't tried to pitch it to anybody. I've just been making my own stuff. But People do. Studios do. So I get the whole wanting to just supersede the middleman. Forget that. I don't need to come crawling on my hands and knees to you to make my movie or my concept or my idea. I can go do it myself without your interference, without your knowing notes. So, but be prepared. We will probably get an influx of stuff that we have to sift through for the good stuff. It'll regulate itself. The issue I have also is that, like, yeah, CGI was, looked down before, and then, it got better. Jurassic Park, like they infused it with technology, with practical effects, and then it went downhill because they started to rely heavily on it. So instead of it being like a garnish or a nice little added to a movie, it became the foundation of a movie. And those just, you don't feel connected to the movie. You don't feel connected to the scene. It's too light. And that's how I feel with AI. Like, it's going to look beautiful. It's going to look great. But are you going to feel connected to it? Only time will tell. What do you guys think? Are you excited? Are you concerned? Do you even care? Who cares? Do you? Let me know. It's that time, guys. Our remake, Reboot, news of the week. Beloved Nicholas Sparks' book with $47 million adaptation getting a reboot with original producers. That's right. The beloved classic, A Walk to Remember, is getting rebooted. They're going to remake it. And I think I already hate it. So Nicholas Sparks' 19 novel that became a movie is going to be rebooted by the same production team who made the first movie. Okay, so Sparks is one of the most successful novelists of all time, having sold 115 million copies of his novels. He is the writer of The Notebook, so that's another beloved classic. 11 of Sparks' novels have been adapted into movies. 11. I think I've seen 2. I saw The Notebook and Safe Haven. That's right, friends. I have not seen A Walk to Remember. I missed the whole train of that movie. Like, I missed everything when it was out and everybody was talking about it. I completely missed it. I have no idea why I didn't watch it. I think because I like romantic comedies more than I like romantic dramas. So I'm less apt to jump on those. I watch them, but not as much. That's probably what it was. So the 2002 romantic drama, coming of age story, it starred Mandy Moore and Shane West. And people love that. I have not seen it. I meant to see it. I wanted to see it. I've been meaning to see it. But one of those things where it's like, I didn't see it when it was a thing. So now I feel like I have a lot of time to watch it. But now they want to reboot it. So you remember how I said how I already hate it? And you're thinking to yourself, you've never seen it. How can you already hate the reboot when you've never seen the original? I'm glad you asked, because that has been the trend. Something that I love from the 90s or 2000s is getting remade, and it is utter basura. It's trash, or it's not done well. And here it says that they're going to update it, modernize it for the new audience. What does that look like? 20 years ago, saying you're going to modernize something, a film or media, like, okay, cool. Now it's like, what does that mean? Because you end up ruining it somehow. Romance movies tend to play well with modern viewers. Okay. A Walk to Remember getting a fresh reboot could lead to further Sparks adaptation reboots in the future. How many books has Sparks written? Because wouldn't it be better to just do a new book versus remaking one that's already a successful classic? How many he got? Okay, so So there's The Notebook, A Walk to Remember, The Longest Ride, Dear John, The Wish, Safe Haven, The Last Song, Every Breath, The Wedding. Did I say Message in a Bottle? The Return, The Rescue, 2x2, The Guardian, At First Sight, True Believer. I bet. Okay, they did not adapt all these books. There are definitely options here. Yeah, I think the most known popular one is The Notebook and A Walk to Remember. A Walk to Remember follows a rebellious teenager who falls for the quiet school outcast when he is forced to participate in his school play. Opposites attract. So I know the original people who worked on the first one are going to be working on the reboot, and that should give me some kind of comfort, but it doesn't. Because how many times have we had directors or writers return to the previous successful work, they do a sequel or update, and it just falls flat. And again, I know I'm talking a lot of trash for someone who has not watched the first one. I think I'm gonna have to watch it just so I can make sure I can talk my trash. I know I'm pre-hating. That's not fair. I'm pre-hating on this. I think part of it is the fact that no, I haven't watched it, but I've seen clips and I've seen Mandy Moore, and I feel like she really embodied it. The little bit that I did see, like it was like, you know, who are you gonna get to replace Mandy Moore? Who's got that innocent, like, but hiding something look? Like, who's got that? Who? You know what? That's a good question. Who would you guys cast for the two leads? Okay. Mandy Moore's character, Shane West's character. Who we got? Who is going to be the quiet school outcast, and who's going to be the rebellious teenager? Who would you cast? I got nothing because I don't even want this to happen. How about that? Just make another one. Just throw a dart at a list of his books and pick one to make. Now, as you guys know, just because something's a reboot doesn't mean that I'm like angry about it. There are reboots that I'm looking forward to. I've mentioned those. This just happens to not be one of them. What updates to the story are they going to make? Is it just setting it in current times? Are you going to be having cell phones now? Is she going to be a boss babe who doesn't need anybody? Okay. I know I'm being difficult. Let me chill out. Okay, so producer Steve Barnett, who is joining the team, has said A Walk to Remember has endured as a beloved coming-of-age drama, captivating audiences with its heartfelt story of young love, personal growth, and the power of faith for decades. We cannot be more excited to bring a new version of Nicholas Sparks' timeless story to audience, and are particularly thrilled to work alongside the original film's producers, Denise and Hunt. Okay, so currently, this is one that I'm not looking forward to. And I need to watch the movie so I can continue to talk trash. Okay, so how are you guys feeling about this? Are you excited for this opportunity, for this to have a resurgence and find a new audience? You know, this was 21 years ago this movie came out, I think it was, or a little older. There's definitely a new generation who doesn't know about A Walk to Remember, and remaking it could kind of give them that. So we'll see. You guys let me know. I think I know how I feel right now, but I could be wrong, and this movie could be great and prove me wrong. I have no problem admitting it if I'm wrong. I just don't think that I am. But we'll see. Our current event of the week. Scientists created a woolly mouse with mammoth traits. Is it a step toward bringing back the extinct giant? No, it's not. Can we stop messing with nature, or we just can't help ourselves? Okay. It's tiny, but this lab mouse could have a mammoth impact. Great. Curly whiskers and wavy light hair that grows 3 times longer than that of an ordinary lab mouse. The genetically modified rodent. Doesn't that sound like the beginning of like every horror story ever about science? Genetically modified rodent embodies several woolly mammoth-like traits according to Colossal Biosciences. The private Dallas company is behind efforts to resurrect the mammoth and other extinct animals. Why? 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 Shouldn't we be worried about, or focused, I should say, on endangered animals versus extinct ones? Or ones that are on the verge of extinction? Let's put our efforts on that. Or ones that are recently been extinct. Okay, let's try to work on them. But ones that have been extinct for like years and years and years, like mammoths are like the dinosaur age? What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, here's why. Apparently, they want to test the link between specific DNA sequences and physical traits that enable the mammoth to live in the cold climates. They're looking to restore the environment somehow. Because apparently mammoths, I guess, lumbering through the Arctic would compress the snow and grass that insulates the ground, slowing the rate of permafrost thaw and the release of carbon contained in the fragile ecosystem. But the mammoth isn't the only one they're trying to bring back. They're trying to bring back the dodo, Tasmanian tiger. Why? Look, I know you miss these animals. I get it. But why are we bringing these animals back here? Why are we doing this, people? Why? Like, I hear you about the environment, but also you're messing with genetics. You're not going to get everything right. You're just not. And you could be introducing what could be an invasive species that would be endangering our current animals that are not extinct. They are on track to introduce the first woolly mammoth calves in 2028. Y'all that close. Y'all that close to bringing back mammoths 3 years from now? Oh, get this. The program has raised $435 million since it was founded in 2021. That's 4 years. You tell me that money could have gone towards preserving, protecting, helping our current animals? We want to push that money to help mammoths that have been extinct for, at this point, is it safe to say thousands of years? When the earth started, give or take, is people have their own theories. So Tori Herridge, who's senior lecturer of School of Biosciences, University of Sheffield, has said, while we know a lot about mouse genetics, we know much less about mammoths and elephants. True. It isn't yet known which sections of the genome are vital for achieving the characters needed to make an elephant fit for life in the Arctic Circle. I mean, this isn't the first time we're doing this, because lab mice are commonly genetically engineered to have certain traits, including human ones, in order to conduct research on disease and drug development. They call them lab rats for a reason. Whether or not you agree with this, there's some ethics here to be considered. I would say. I did not realize that we were already genetically modifying mice to work on them. There's just so much that I don't know about science and how it's done. This does not make me feel good or give me pause. They even want to be able to regulate, I guess, the gene that regulates melanin production, because that could have mice producing golden hair rather than dark fur. So they're just splicing genes, messing with the natural order of things, because they want to. Essentially, it feels like they are messing with nature because they're trying to save nature. But I feel like every time we mess with something, we make it worse. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like the idea that we've got like certain Certain types of rhinos are already extinct, you know. We've got other species on the verge. I mean, you've got reserves around the world and trying to preserve, trying to help. And these motherfreakers want to go ahead and bring back a woolly mammoth. Because even if you look at the picture of the mice, yeah, I'm not with this. I don't have much more to say on this except stop. Please stop. Please stop before we get another epidemic or some new disease or something. Can we stop? Let them be extinct. You're not going to be able to bring them back the way they once were. So whatever you're doing now, no matter how many genes you try to alter, it's not going to be the exact same. And what if you create some kind of like infectious disease that doesn't affect us, but affects elephants because you're messing with that kind of mammoth thing, and our elephants die out or a strain. I don't know. You can blame it on movies if you want to, but there's just a certain level of I have about things. Oh, what are you guys thinking? You think this is a good idea? No judgment if you think this is a good idea. No judgment. You know? We are curious beings. And curiosity killed the cat. All right, let me know your thoughts. Just leave it alone. And finally, our tech story of the week, our official tech story of the week. Your boss wants you back in the office. This surveillance tech could be waiting for you. So I haven't had a chance to really look over this article. It was freaking hella long. Jeez. But basically, not only are you being brought back into the office, but now that whole 1983, right? 1983 is the name of the book. Big Brother surveillance is being more infused in the workplace. Great. A new wave of return to office mandates have arrived since the new year. So that includes JP Morgan Chase, Amazon, which everyone knows, and whatnot. They are terminating remote work arrangements and requiring employees to return to work in person on a full-time basis. So no more 1 day in, 1 day out, 3 days here. No, we want you in the office 5 days a week where we can see you. The economy is actually slowing down, is what a global industry analysis, Josh Persson, is saying. So companies are hiring less. So there is a trend toward productivity in general. And then AI has forced virtually every company to reallocate resources toward AI projects. Freaking AI. The expectation among CEOs is that it's going to eliminate a lot of jobs. A lot of these back-to-work mandates are due to frustration that both of those initiatives are hard to measure or hard to do when we don't know what people are doing at home. Working. Mostly, probably. So, you already have technology that's monitoring. So you've got tech that's monitoring time, attendance, productivity. You've got RFID badges, GPS time clock apps, QR code clocking in, Apple Watch badges, and palm, face, eye, voice, and finger scanners. I'm sorry. Is this like a Mission Impossible movie? Why do we need all of that? Biometric scanners have long been sold to companies as a way to avoid hourly workers buddy punching. Okay. All right. So you know how maybe you're running 5 minutes late, but you know the boss won't be there, but you're going to beat them, but you still have to clock in, but your friend is already there. You'd be like, hey girl, could just clock me in. I'm 5 minutes away. And they do it for you. Not if they're doing biometric scanners. Not if it has to be your eye, unless you want to give up your eye. Oh my gosh, this is like, okay. Y'all doing a lot. Where exactly are you working? And this better not be requirements for like working at like a Denny's. I'm serving food. Do you really need me to do voice command clocking in? All right, check this out. Check this out. So they've got HID's Omni Key platform, which this is designed for factories. It's designed for hospitals, universities, and offices. It's an RFID login and security system for employees, like smart cards, smartphone wallets, and wearables, right? You know, your key cards. But it's not only monitoring entrances, it's monitoring exits, floor access by way of elevators, and parking, the use of meeting rooms, the cafeteria, printers, lockers, and yes, vending machine access. Get the fudge out of here. Are you serious? Get the fudge out of here. Get the fudge out of here. Excuse me, Karen. I noticed that you were at the vending machines for 10 minutes. Couldn't decide? Because that's 10 minutes that you eat at the time. So for future reference, I need you to know what chips you're going to get before you get there. What? You know, or Alex, why are you at vending machines? You told me you were on a diet. Why are you clocking me, chick? No. I mean, I guess printers would protect companies from having employees like print their own stuff. You know what I mean? Like maybe you're having a party or something, or you're helping out a friend. So you want to print out 30 copies of a flyer. That's the company resources. The cafeteria, your lunch break is 30 minutes long. You were in the cafeteria for 33 minutes. That's a problem. Yo, this is a lot of monitoring I am uncomfortable with. A lot. So it's not just that, it's expanding now to blue collar jobs, to pink collar industries. Hold. I know blue collar, I know white collar. What the heck is pink collar? Oh, okay. Beauty industry, nursing, social work, teaching, childcare. Okay. That makes sense because blue collar is like warehouse. Okay, factories. Off white collar, pink collar. Oh, okay. How many colors are there? Are there only 3? What's an orange collar? So approximately 70 to 80% of large U.S. employers now use some form of employee monitoring. I hate this so much. And it's not because, I want to get away with that something. No, it's just like invasive. The likes of PwC have explicitly told workers that managers will be tracking their location to enforce a 3-day office week policy. Making sure that you're where you're. Okay, so even though you're clocked in, according to my records here, your phone says you're in Vegas. Oh my gosh. They're essentially going to be going everywhere. This monitoring, this invasiveness is going to be like everywhere. Office, warehouses, hospitals, everywhere. So the thing that's new because of the recent pandemic of hybrid working is that workers cannot be tracked inside office buildings. So it's not just enough that, she's clocked in, she's here. Now it's like, where is she exactly? She's on the 8th floor. Why is she in a meeting right now? Why is she in the meeting room? Who's she meeting with? I don't like this at all. I cannot express to you how much I don't like this. Okay, I know there are always going to be workers who slack off. I know this. There's always going to be somebody who, and I get it. And I feel like there should be a limitation though. I'm not saying no monitoring or anything like that. No, for sure. But to the level, to the degree that they're saying, for them to know that you use the vending machine, for them to know when you enter the cafeteria, I don't like this. This is a lot. This is a lot, guys. Like, honestly, be real with me. Can you imagine working for a tech company? This is their whole bag. Like, I wonder how much monitoring there really is going on at a tech company. Suddenly, I'm not so upset that I didn't try to get a job in coding. I don't know how to code. I'm just saying, like, I'm glad I didn't go for that career choice. How are you guys feeling about this? I know how I feel. Uncomfortable. So check this out. So someone mentioned a worst case scenario would be that management wants to fire someone and then starts looking into historical records trying to find some misconduct. If it's necessary to investigate employees, then there should be a procedure where, for example, a worker representative is looking into the fine-grained behavioral data together with management. This would be a safeguard to prevent misuse. You know somebody's going to be abusing the system. You know it. If there is a system in place, you're guaranteed somebody's abusing it somehow. Guaranteed. Surveillance and this idea of time theft, it's all connected to this idea of wasting time. So where I feel monitoring Big Brother is really pertinent in the workplace is when you're caring for others. So like nursing care, daycare, because we've seen some horror instances. We have. That is where I'm like, yeah, you're around children, you're around elderly people who can't really, fend for themselves. No, we need to see what you're doing. I'm all about it. But if you're getting on me and wanting to see how I'm doing with TPS reports.
Apparently didn't put one of the new cover sheets on your TPS reports.
And how many breaks I take to the bathroom, we might be crossing a little bit of a line here. I mean, unless you're taking excessive long breaks in the bathroom, then either you have some kind of bowel issue or you are wasting time, my friend. How are you guys feeling about this? Okay, so here it says, despite a lack of comprehensive privacy rights in the U.S., though, worker protests, union organizing, and media coverage can provide a firewall against some office surveillance schemes. Unions such as the Surface Employees International Union are pushing for laws to protect workers from black box algorithms dictating the pace of output. In December, Boeing has been under fire, Boeing scrapped a pilot of employee monitoring at offices in Missouri and Washington, which was based on a system of infrared motion sensors and view sensor cameras installed in ceilings made by Ohio-based. The U-turn came after a Boeing employee leaked an internal PowerPoint presentation on the occupancy and headcount tracking technology to the Seattle Times. In a matter of weeks, Boeing confirmed that managers would remove all the sensors that have been installed to date. Okay. So, again, what about the abuse of the system? We've been talking about privacy, but what about the creep factor? There is always the creep factor. Never discount the creep factor. Have you guys read 1983? You should. If you haven't, you should. 1984. It's wild. That's it. That's it for this week. You guys let me know about your thoughts on this. Woo, we are in for it these next decade. All right, guys. That concludes another episode of Real Movie Lovers. Thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for my supporters. Feel free to like, subscribe, leave comments. Check me out on Patreon. And many thanks to my Patreon members, Thelma and Fonker. I appreciate you guys. We're doing awesome things over there. And I'm growing a community. So feel free to come over and join. See you guys next week.